Would you like to discover how daily practices quiet the mind and reframe success? Isabel Tremblay will tell us how to do this. And what's so special about Isabel is she is a best-selling author, CMO, and heart-led leadership expert, guiding growth through purpose. And she has a best-selling book called Love, Lead, Succeed, the Supernatural Approach to Business and Life, which blends her story with actionable tools for redefining success without losing yourself. And she's the host of Eye on the Industry podcast. So Isabel, tell us about how did you come to discover that daily practices quiet the mind and reframe success? Heal Podcast with Lily Patrascu shares longevity and anti-aging techniques to stay young forever, increase energy, overcome addiction, and live your longest, best life ever. Shared by world's most innovative, alternative, and traditional health thought leaders, healers, and doctors. Discover quantum healing strategies to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm excited to share my story and hopefully some great practical tips with your audience. I've learned some of these techniques, I would say, unfortunately and fortunately, through burnout. So I had a 23-year corporate career that led me to be, head of marketing for a very large corporation, but I was doing two very high level executive roles at the same time. And through that, I was a single mom. And at some point, my body completely stopped functioning normally, and my mind as well, of course. And when I went through this burnout, I had to find ways to heal myself, over and above seeing a doctor or taking any kind of medication. And then I started reading hundreds of books and listening to podcasts, and I started some really powerful daily practices, including meditation, but also the practice of gratitude to help me heal and really rediscover myself.
Thank you. And tell us about what's the blueprint for someone who wants to become a lot more successful. Is there like a series of daily practices you recommend? And if so, what is the order they should do it in?
Well, first, for someone that wants to be successful, I would share again my experience with it. But I used to believe that being successful was, titles, the number of emails, completed, or even, having a nice car. But now I know that I've redefined success to how aligned I am with my with my purpose, and that really tells me how successful I am every day. And in order to keep in that right frame of mind, I've implemented some daily practices. So the first one I mentioned is meditation. So I don't get out of bed before I complete a 30-minute meditation. And for some people that might be long. I would say if you're not sure about meditating, you could start just with 5 minutes and increase time as you get more used to doing it. The second thing that's been kind of a game changer for me is I go on my gratitude walks in the morning, right after my meditation. And this allows me to really go through, on average, like 50 things that I'm the most grateful for. And gratitude does something amazing in your mind and in your body, because it makes you, first of all, be grateful for what you have. So it puts you in a happy state. And it's also the, I guess, the key thing for receivership. So grateful people tend to be in a better state to receive things as well.
Thank you. Tell us about the meditation. Is there a particular practice you follow in terms of meditation? Like, is there a particular audio that you would listen? And if so, what tends to happen in that meditation? Because I think that, for example, I find meditation a little bit scary. And the reason I find it scary is because it feels like I'm alone there, and I am, okay? And then it's like a lot of the meditation that I've experienced is all about like going through this path, and you're going to the woods, or you're kind of like going up, and then you're in a circle, or you're in a cube, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so scared being there by myself. And I'm wondering about, is there a particular meditation that has worked for you, and what tends to be like what happens in the meditation that makes you actually quiet the mind? Because for me, it's like, oh my God, my mind is racing. I'm so scared being here.
Yes, and that's a challenge with meditation is, what meditation is getting familiar with yourself, right? And by being able to quiet down the mind, you're able to get more familiar with yourself. But for some people, when you go in a complete silence, it's not the best way for them to do it, because maybe their mind gets, like busier and noisier. So then I would recommend guided meditation. For me, one of my number one guided meditation is with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've actually read 3 of his books and attended 2 of his week-long retreat in person, and it's been life-changing for me. And he has many different types of meditation, whether you want to bring more abundance in your life, or work on a problem that you have, or focus on healing, because meditation can help with healing as well. When you think about how you want to feel, or things you want to improve in your body, as opposed to thinking about what you don't want, then you can totally change things. So I personally like Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation, but there's many different other great, I guess I'll call them gurus, or people out there that can help you do guided meditation. I think it can be easier for you to use a guide as opposed to just trying to do it on your own in your own silence.
Thank you. Tell us about the gratitude walks. What tends to happen? Like, what do you say to yourself? Like, I'm grateful for, do you tend to kind of say stuff that hasn't already happened? Like, for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am, I don't know, multimillionaire, or I'm so happy and grateful now that I am healthy, and perhaps you're not. Or do you kind of, or do you just say gratitude for stuff that actually has happened?
I would say I do a mixture of both, because I certainly go through, the people in my life that I am grateful for. So they're already there. So I'm grateful for them. But sometimes I'll say something, if somebody has a challenge, or, they're sick, I'll say thank you for, my father's like healthy leg, or, I'll twist it so that I focus on something that might not be there right now, but by saying that he's actually healthy, I'm hoping that he will become healthy. But then I go through, like some people do, I have a vision board. And on that vision board, I have everything from, the house I would like to live in, to my health, like what are my goals, to, my animals, my career. And I go through every single thing on my vision board, but, thanking the universe for these things having already happened. So to answer your question, it's more about, even though sometimes it hasn't happened yet, I thank the universe for things that would have happened.
Thank you. Do you have like a series of 10 commandments, or perhaps a system or a blueprint that you use in terms of the kind of daily practices that can help someone become more successful, and not just more successful, but you can say to reduce anxiety as well? Because I think if you're ultra successful, but you're ultimately very, very anxious all the time, and your personal relationship with your husband or wife is a mess, then I don't know if you're really successful.
I would say, in general, it would be to be kinder with yourself. We have a lot of noise in our head, and a lot of that noise is not kind. So try to have daily practices, or when you try whenever you catch yourself thinking something negative, or I don't know, like this meeting's not going to go well, or oh, this is not a good day. Try to reframe it to something more positive. But then on a daily basis, to help you be more successful, it's good to establish a routine, and everybody's different. But for me, it's starting with a meditation, then it's going on my gratitude walks. And then often I'll get busy throughout the day, but I can't say that all my days are perfect. Sometimes I'll feel, a little of that anxiety coming back. And what makes things get more peaceful would be doing some breathing exercise would be one, or sometimes it's just focusing on, if I get a little anxious, like I have, looking at my bottle of water and just calming down my mind. And then when we get towards the evening, I try to have positive affirmation, when I get myself ready for bed. And often before bed, or even sometimes during the night, I have positive affirmation playing on audio, which may not work for everyone, especially if you have a partner sleeping with them. You might be disturbing their sleep, but it's a good way to reprogram your subconscious mind as well to, try to achieve that more successful life.
Thank you. So when you're playing these affirmations, what do you say to yourself? Give us some examples.
Things like, I'm so grateful that the universe is constantly working in my favor. I'm grateful for all the people I love in my life, and I'm grateful for my success at work. I'm grateful for all the abundance in my life. And abundance is not always just, money. It's, anything like, and sometimes little things that we take for granted, like running water. So these are all things, and there's a lot of pre-recorded positive affirmation that are on a loop. You can listen to on YouTube. They go from anywhere from like 1 hour to even 12 hours for those who sleep longer. But I even pushed it further, where I started recording my positive affirmation, because apparently when your subconscious mind hears your voice, it's more powerful than listening to some, stranger's voice telling you things. So if you're actually affirming these things yourself, then you're more apt to start, I'll use the word digesting it, but really getting it into your
Follow
mind.
me for more interviews with world's most innovative health change makers to live your healthiest life ever.